Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy. This is Solo Travel Adventures with Amy, and today I'm going to take you on a really special adventure, and I'm going to let you do that by stepping into the pages of my travel diary. So today's adventure, where is it going to be? Well, it's my very first day in Egypt. I took that trip several months ago in the dead of winter, and this day is filled with all kinds of adventures. We're talking pyramids. We're talking a tasty Egyptian feast with an authentic Egyptian that I met on my flight. And we're talking sarcophagi and mummies and all kinds of amazing things that you only dream of. And I experienced them all, and you can experience them too by coming with me and reliving this day that I spent in Egypt. It was such a beautiful, amazing experience, and I want to share every detail of it with you. So come on, let's step right in. Okay, so I thought of a few different ways that I could actually do this video, and the one I thought would be the best is if I just read it straight out of my diary, exactly how I wrote it on the day that it happened. And I think that that's the most authentic and the most fun way to experience this, and I'm going to get to relive it along with you. So here we go. Yesterday was an entire day spent in transit, the kind of day that seems to accordion open with endless hours. I woke before dawn in the cold gray hush and shouldered my 35-liter backpack, stepping out into a city that's already pulsing with life. Munich Central Station is buzzing with early commuters, suit jackets brushing backpacks, the hiss of espresso machines, urgent announcements echoing off high ceilings in German and English. I weaved through the crowd, feet thumping on the worn tiles, heart racing to catch my train. Inside, it's a little too bright, filled with the rustle of newspapers and the quiet murmur of tired conversations. As the train zips towards the airport, I lean back in my seat and watch through the wide window as the medieval Bavarian city I've grown to love so much slowly slips away. The sun is just beginning to smudge the horizon in messy strokes of pumpkin orange and raspberry red. At Munich Airport, I sink gratefully into the lounge. It's warm and humming with early morning travelers. I have breakfast, scrambled eggs, and my favorite drink I always get in Germany, apple juice splashed with a hint of Pellegrino. I pop open my laptop to get a bit of work done before the flight. It feels like a small triumph to be productive here in this nowhere space between cities. My first flight is short, just over to Istanbul, a little over 2 hours. That airport is its own beast. Sprawling and cavernous, designed to swallow you whole in endless duty-free perfume and neon signs flashing in Turkish, English, and Arabic. I have a 5-hour layover to kill. By the time I finally make it through passport control and to the lounge, it's already packed to bursting. I managed to snag one of the last seats, wedged between bleary-eyed travelers, scrolling through their phones, and families half asleep on their luggage. The buffet is a sad battlefield of picked-over scraps. A few lonely spoonfuls of pilaf, tiny tidbits of what might have been kofta once, a wiped clean hummus dish, and a single sticky square of baklava, gluing itself to the tray. I scraped together something resembling a meal and sipped peppermint tea, watching the steady churn of people while announcements in 3 languages echo overhead, boarding calls rolling endlessly like the tide. Finally, I board my connection to Cairo, fully bracing for the cramped economy section I'd paid for, the absolute cheapest ticket I could get. I hadn't even sprung for seat selection or a full-size carry-on bag, trying to save every last penny. That's how I travel. So when I see my name on a first-class boarding slip, I just stand there blinking in disbelief. The other passengers in first class glance around too, eyebrows raised, exchanging nervous little laughs. We snap a few pictures of ourselves to memorialize this unusual upgrade. The unspoken consensus amongst all of us was, shh. If they realize they made a mistake, they'll send us all back to steerage. I sink into a wide leather window seat, fingers brushing the armrest like it might vanish, thinking sometimes travel is just magic. We land well after midnight. Cairo Airport is an orchestra of noise and neon, drivers shouting names into the heavy air, fluorescent lights bouncing off polished floors, the smell of dust and diesel thick and clinging. My eyes scan the chaos until I see my name on a sign. The hostel has sent a driver, per my request. That simple promise feels like a warm hand on my shoulder, steadying me in the swirl of it all. We set off through the city in the early morning hours, but Cairo is anything but asleep. The roads buzz with late night traffic, the glow of shop fronts and neon signs painting the car windows in quick silver flashes. Minarets rise in silhouette, their lights flickering like beacons across the skyline. My driver hums along to Egyptian pop music on low volume, fingers tapping the steering wheel in rhythm. I'm wide-eyed in the back seat, taking it all in. This is my very first time in Egypt, and I want to absorb every moment, every swirl of unfamiliar letters on the signs. Maybe that's why I didn't notice until too late that I'd left something behind in the car. And not just a little something, my travel pillow. When I mention my forgetfulness to the guy at the hostel front desk, he shrugs like it's nothing. No worries, he says. You can just buy a new one tomorrow. They're cheap. I says, but you don't understand. I explain, gesturing wildly. It's not just a pillow. It's my secret travel hack to avoid baggage fees. It's literally stuffed with all of my clothing. I've never left anything in a taxi before in my life. I swear to myself that I'll never do it again. Luckily, the driver works with the hostel, so they call him right away. He promises to bring it back in the morning when he returns to pick up another guest. I exhale shakily, grateful and mortified at once. But for tonight, there's nothing to do but crawl into bed in the same clothes that I'd worn all day, jeans and all. I pull the hostel blanket over me and sigh. That's the thing about travel. You just have to make the best of it, even if it means sleeping in your denim armor. I close my eyes, tired down to the bones, and let Cairo's distant hum swirl in my dreams. This is the next day, day 2 in Cairo, with the official first day. Today started slow. I woke up in my cozy hostel bunk, golden early morning light leaking through the thin curtain. My body is sore from a day of transit, but work is waiting. Freelance life doesn't pause just because you're somewhere fascinating. I shuffle to the common area, open my laptop. Wait, nothing. The Wi-Fi is infuriatingly bad. My VPN refuses to connect at all. Apparently, VPNs are forbidden from operating in Egypt. Ugh. Deadlines loom like thunderclouds. I feel my jaw tighten, heat rising in my cheeks. This is part of solo travel no one glamorizes, cursing at a router at 8 a.m., knowing no one else is going to fix it for you. Eventually, I just close the laptop and take a deep breath. The frustration sticks to my ribs, but I won't let it ruin my first day here. So I tell myself, just go, but not before breakfast. The hostel has a rooftop terrace that feels like an open-air perch over the whole chaotic sprawl of old Cairo. Breakfast is included in the price of the stay. Unbelievably, the room and breakfast cost me just $7 per night. I sit there with a made-to-order spread in front of me. Warm, fluffy egg omelet, rich beans, slices of salty cheese, crisp veggies, pillowy fresh pita. It's delicious, simple, and perfect. I look out at the city in the hazy morning light. The view is honest, raw. So many of the buildings look bombed out, hollowed and crumbling like the ghosts of old wars. I love it. I always find places like this more intriguing than any perfectly manicured city. There's character here, stories in every cracked wall and exposed rebar. By the time I'm wiping the last of the beans with my pita, the front desk guy appears, grinning with my travel pillow in his hand. My ridiculous, oversized bag of clothes. Huge sigh of relief. I actually laugh out loud and shake my head. Crisis averted. My entire travel wardrobe is rescued. That would have been a disaster. Even though my work isn't finished, those deadlines are still glaring at me. I know I can't waste any more of today. I only have 2 full days in Cairo. Time to go. I head to the rickety old-fashioned elevator in the hall, grinning as I press the button. Last night, I'd climbed all 6 flights on foot, not realizing this thing actually worked. This morning, I let it creak and groan me down to street level. The doors open onto old Cairo, and it feels like the city immediately wraps around me in a roar of life. Street vendors hawking bright fruits and neon plastic toys, people rushing on foot, zipping by on scooters and motorcycles, cars weaving like they're in a choreographed dance but forgot the music. It's beautiful chaos. I order an Uber Comfort, so I can pay in-app, To avoid cash negotiations, I hop in the back seat and settle in for the 20-minute ride to the pyramids. The car jostles over potholes, horns bleeding in impatient staccato. We pass tangled streets, stray cats slinking under market stalls, men in long gulabias, sipping tea on battered chairs. The closer we get, the more the city seems to thin, peeling back into sandy lots and open sky. And then, suddenly, there it is. I catch my first glimpse of the pyramids from the window of my Uber. Massive, geometric, rising out of the desert haze like the spine of some ancient god. They look both impossibly distant and alarmingly close. For a second, I forget to breathe. This isn't a postcard or a screensaver. It's real, right there. This is the place I've dreamed of visiting my entire life. I mean, who hasn't? The Great Pyramids of Giza, the Sphinx. In my head, it was always some epic, arduous journey across endless desert to get here. But instead, it's like, oh, let me take a quick break from my workday, hop in an Uber for 20 minutes, and ta-da! I'm standing in front of one of the 7 wonders of the world. I actually laugh at the absurdity of it all. Cairo doesn't hold back. It just hands you its treasures, no ceremony required. I arrive at the entrance to the pyramids, hop out of the Uber, and immediately get swept into the shuffle of tourists and security. I buy my ticket, go through the checkpoint, and step out into the grounds with my heart beating a little faster. Of course, the moment I'm through, the calls start. Men offering carriage rides, camel rides, photos, miss, camel ride, carriage ride, photo. I shake my head over and over. No, thank you. Sometimes I even say no gracias, hoping that they don't understand Spanish, which I don't even speak. I brace for a hard sell, but I'm surprised at how easy they made it here. Most take no for an answer after 1 or 2 tries. It's downright polite compared to the circus of persistent selling in India. I feel strangely grateful for the courtesy. I want to do this on foot. I don't want to take a camel. I don't want to take a carriage. I want to walk by the pyramids. I want to feel the ground under my feet, take it all in at my own pace. I start up the paved road slowly, my eyes darting from side to side, like I can't possibly absorb it all at once. To my left is the Sphinx, larger and more regal in person than I had ever imagined. Its gaze fixed somewhere beyond centuries, its nose partially gone. Its beautiful stone skin is smooth and lifelike. To my right, one of the pyramids looms in brutal geometry, ancient and unbothered by our tiny modern dramas. Something that shocked me the most today, it was freezing cold. So much colder than I had ever imagined it could possibly be in Egypt. I never expected this. I'd imagined blistering heat baking the top of my head. I almost wish I'd brought a sun hat. Sweat trickling down my back, but nothing like that. Instead, my teeth chatter. I'm wearing 2 t-shirts, a sweater, 2 jackets layered on top of each other, and a winter scarf wrapped high over my chin. Later, I even dig out my beanie and tug it down tight. Granted, some of these, I don't look this way in my pictures because I wanted the pictures to look good, not with me all bundled up. I actually laugh at myself. If you told me I'd be bundled up like an Arctic explorer at the pyramids, I would have called you crazy. But here I am, waddling like an overstuffed penguin through the desert. I slow my steps deliberately. I want to soak in every moment. I let my eyes linger on the massive rectangular blocks that make up the pyramid walls. Each one is taller than the people who pose nearby, dwarfed like plastic figurines against these impossibly old bones of history. I think about the hands that cut them, dragged them, stacked them with a precision we can barely replicate today. Whole lives spent building monuments to eternity. Part of me doesn't want to leave. I could keep walking here forever, imagining the dust caked under the nails of those ancient workers, the slow creep of centuries wearing these stones smooth. But eventually hunger and fatigue win. I've covered a lot of ground and the chill is starting to settle into my bones. I sigh, pull out my phone, and call another Uber. It's time to warm up and refuel. My next stop is the Grand Egyptian Museum, which just opened up last fall. The Uber arrives in a swirl of dust and cold air. I climb in, rubbing my gloved hands together for warmth, and sink into a cracked seat with a grateful sigh. The city unspools outside my window, palm trees against concrete skeletons, laundry snapping in the breeze, traffic a tangle of horns and waving arms. I watch it all pass by, pyramids still buzzing in my head like a dream I can't shake. When the driver finally drops me at the Grand Egyptian Museum, I'm chilled to the bone and starving. I head straight for the little restaurant tucked inside. It's warm, blessedly warm. I slide into the hard chair with a groan of relief and order Egyptian pizza, a soft, doughy oval brushed generously with za'atar and olive oil, topped with local cheese and a spicy sausage. And I order a glass of fresh juice so thick and sweet it clings to my tongue with every sip. When I finally stand up, fed and warmed, I feel new. I pay my bill and walk out into the massive hall, heart rate slowing, ready to explore the treasures of the ancient world. The museum feels new and timeless at once, gleaming floors, glass walls, but humming with old ghosts. Light spills through the high windows and dusty gold columns, catching on carved hieroglyphs and the gleam of gold sarcophagi. I wander slowly, my feet still a little sore from the pyramids, but my curiosity unbothered. Each gallery feels like it's its own universe. Relics behind glass, solemn statues, tiny, intricate turquoise jewelry that somehow survived dynasties, toppling like dominoes. Note to self, always budget time for places like this. You can't rush 5,000 years. As the sun starts its slow, smoky descent over Cairo, I order another Uber back to the hostel, but he's not at the designated pickup point. Instead, he's parked around the bend on the shoulder of the highway, hazard lights blinking. I peer at the map, debating. If I can reach him safely, I will. If not, I'll just order another Uber. Cairo traffic is its own living organism. Cars weaving like fish in a school. Honks in every key. But I see a gap in the flow, and I make my way carefully. We exchange polite pleasantries. He smiles in the mirror. I thank him for waiting. For most of the ride, it's quiet. The windows open to let in the cool exhaust of heavy air. Cairo rolls past. I relax a little, watching the city blur by. But about a block from my hostel, he slows in traffic and pulls out his phone. He taps on a translator app and holds it out. The robotic voice blurts, "Police took my license because of pickup confusion." "What exactly do you want me to do about that?" I asked flatly. He doesn't even try to answer. He just rubs his finger together in the universal notion for cash. My annoyance flares red hot. "Nope," I say. My voice is ice. "Not doing that." We're crawling in traffic anyway, only a block from my hostel. I swing my bag over my shoulder, push that door open, and step out onto the packed street. I'll walk the rest of the way. I slam the door shut behind me without another word. He's been paid through the app, of course, but no tip for this guy. Travel reality. For every wonder of the world, there's someone waiting to test your patience. I get back to the hostel and sink onto the lobby couch for one glorious moment of rest. Just a second to breathe. But there's no way I'm calling it a night yet. One of the fellow first-class passengers from last night's surprise upgrade had gotten my number, Hashem. Born and raised in Cairo, he texted me earlier asking if I wanted to go out tonight. Said he'd love to show me around the city and treat me to some real Egyptian food. I grin at the message and text back, "Absolutely. I came here to see Cairo after all." When Hashem picks me up, our first stop isn't dinner. It's practical. A tiny fluorescent lit SIM card shop. He helps me navigate the process, talking to the guy behind the counter in rapid Arabic, making sure I get the best plan for my phone. I already have Wi-Fi and cell service, of course, but my American plan is a nightmare for data. The real reason I'm here, I want to use my phone as a hotspot so I can finally get my work done on my computer. One of my hostel roommates, a German guy also fighting Cairo's sluggish internet, suggested this trick earlier today, and I gladly took him up on that advice. With the new SIM card firmly slotted in and connected gleaming on my screen, I practically beam. Problem solved. My little freelancer's heart does a victory dance. Hashem just laughs and tells me we're not done yet. He navigates the busy nighttime streets of Cairo, headlights flashing over market stalls still open, neon signs buzzing, people everywhere. Finally, he pulls up in front of one of his favorite restaurants. The place hums with local families, metal trays clanging, the smell of spiced meat curling out the door. He waves away the menu and orders practically everything so I can try it all. We talk and laugh between mouthfuls of stuffed grape leaves, like the ones I loved in Greece and Israel, and kebab meats rich with Turkish-style spices. But the star of the night is the most unusual. Stuffed pigeon. 2 tiny birds roasted and stuffed with rice, veggies, and seasonings. I hesitate exactly 1 second before diving in. It's shockingly delicious. I try not to imagine the pigeons I've seen in every major city I've ever been in that beg for food, because now they are my food. It's savory, herby, somehow both delicate and rich. Hashem watches me take my first bite, eyebrows raised in challenge, and bursts out laughing when I nod enthusiastically. Good, right? He said, grinning. After dinner, we're not done yet. He insists on taking me to a dessert shop in New Cairo, an affluent area of Egypt's sprawling capital. It's tucked inside a modern shopping mall that feels worlds away from the dust and chaos of the old city. Ramadan is only a few days away, so everything is already draped in multicolored streamers, twinkling lights, ready for the first night celebration. Inside the sweet shop, the workers are in a frenzy, cooking in overdrive to fill the avalanche of holiday orders. The smell of honey and butter and roasted nuts hits me like a hug. Hashem chats with the shopkeeper, picking out a beautiful box of sticky, honey-soaked baklava varieties for me to take back to the hostel. For later, he says with a wink. My arms are actually full when he drops me back at the door around midnight. But the night's not over yet. I head back inside, still buzzing with sugar and gratitude, and flop onto the same couch in the common area to get to work. I still have assignments I didn't finish this morning before running off to the pyramids. Was that really just this morning? It feels like a lifetime ago. The SIM card works like a charm. I share my box of desserts with the hostel guy at the desk, the same one who helped me last night when I stumbled in after 2 a.m. He nods in approval between sticky bites. Finally, around 3 a.m., I submit my last assignment and shuffle off for one of the hottest, loveliest showers I've ever had. I put on my pajamas, the ones safely retrieved from my precious pillow of clothes, and crawl under the scratchy hostel blanket. I'm asleep in seconds, a smile on my face. Cairo, you're ridiculous. You're amazing. And I can't wait to see what you have in store for me tomorrow. So that was it. My very first day in Cairo, exactly as I wrote it in my diary. And honestly, I had everything I love about solo travel. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I love all of it. Confusing Ubers, unexpected kindnesses, amazing world wonders, delicious food, tech disasters or near disasters, and a new friend who made the day end just right. It's this kind of day that reminds me exactly why I love to travel. So if you enjoyed traveling with me today via my travel diary, make sure you subscribe because there's going to be plenty more days like this. This was just day one in Egypt. I spend another day in Cairo and then I go on to Luxor, and I'm going to tell you all of the amazing details. Every day is filled with just beauty and wonder, and you're gonna love each and every single second of it. I'm excited to go back through my diary and relive all of those amazing moments with you. And in addition to Egypt, I have so many more of these adventures from all over the world. All the other countries that I've been to and all of the other people that I've met. I'm so excited to introduce them all to you. So drop any questions that you have about Egypt, about solo travel, about budget travel, about hostels, about anything you want to know about my travels in general or about this specific day, just drop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you on the next one.